just wanted everybody to know that about 10 minutes ago, the District Attorney of Philadelphia agreed to a new trial for Meek. That effort by this district attorney is to remove an indelible stain that was placed on our criminal justice system back in November. And today, I think we all celebrate that decision, but there's one more thing that has to happen. We asked the judge today, as soon as the district attorney indicated that he was agreeing to a new trial, to release him today. She wouldn't listen. So right now, what we're poised to do and why we're going to be running from here, we're now going to go take steps to ask a higher court to do what she should have done 10 minutes ago and to release this good man and bring him back to his family.
I'm sorry to inform you, but Morning Coffee will be on hiatus for the foreseeable future due to a strike that I personally have at Starbucks due to their treatment of their colored customers. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day.
I don't know. I don't think she's going to do anything in my favor, personally. I never had anything done in my favor in that courtroom, and I just brought my hopes all the way down when it came to that courtroom period. I was found guilty of pointing a gun at two cops at one time. I thought she would have ruled in my favor when she seen my face on that mugshot. My face was beat in, but
well, you're serving time for probation violations. You had a few of those going back to 2012. And while you told me, you said you're not perfect, you don't think this punishment fits the crime, right?
Hell no, I'm not perfect. I ain't commit the crime. I didn't point a gun at two officers. I think she did a poll on CNN and asked the black metal point a gun at two officers in the middle of a full-blown raid. I think the profile would be like 98% saying no. I think everybody knew that. And with all these young men getting killed for reaching for their cell phone, I happened to make it from the ghetto and be on the road to success. That was lucky enough. You think I'm lucky enough to point a gun at 2-3 officers at one time without being a shot being fired at me? It's like almost impossible. I was locked up. I was found guilty of a crime I didn't commit in 2008 or 9. I'm in a state penitentiary right now, still because of that case. And I've never been in trouble since 2009. And I'm going to stay sentenced to that right now. And you know, a lot of people, they get locked up for technical violations and stuff like that. They lose their jobs and they lose their family. Their kids go fatherless for months, years at a time over small mistakes, not committing crimes.
BBN Jack Frost, what's up, party people? Hey, before the video even continue, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the notification game. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. Alright, so as everybody know, Meek Mill has a lot of supporters, Robert Kraft being one of them. Everybody that even has anything to do with Philadelphia. I mean, at this point, it's like people that don't even live in Philadelphia just happen to go there to get a cheesesteak every once in a while. They are in support of Meek Mill. Everybody except for Genece Brinkley, the Honorable Genece Brinkley, by the way. Let's not show that lady any disrespect. She made her decision. At this point, after all of the inquiries that have been made upon her, her person, her credibility, it seems like none of them have faltered. She seems to be a credible individual, and the way that she has treated Meek Mill actually seems to be in line with how she treats many of her of the individuals that come before her court. So let's just go into the story right here. Obviously, right here they're talking about Philadelphia prosecutor now supports Meek Mill's new trial. And when you have a situation where you have a DA, a prosecutor, and they're saying this guy deserves a new trial, obviously they know, or there's some kind of information, for whatever the reason it might be, they think that the trial wasn't fair. And this is a rarity, like rare. Like, these guys who know that the guy is innocent, and they'll let innocent people go to jail all the time. In this particular situation, it seems like whether Meek Mill is innocent or guilty, I have no idea personally, but it seems like in this case particularly, they have changed their tune, and they want a new trial, even though they won. So this shows you just how rare this is. How do you win and won a new trial? Do they have like some new evidence and they think that they could get more years, that would be the only reason. Well, I could see somebody, a district attorney, a prosecuting attorney, would want to redo a trial. But if that is not the case, then you just have to think that some of Meek Mill's friends has possibly put pressure on certain individuals, and it's probably in their best interest. Let me close this manager. I don't even know why it opened up. I'll just all the way. It's just, and it might be in their best interest, probably politically, or as far as how their work will be, for them to decide to give Meek Mill another swing at the bat, and that happened again. Okay, so here we go. Philadelphia District Attorney Office on Monday threw its support behind a campaign to overturn the conviction of rapper Meek Mill, the latest turn in a decade-old drug and guns conviction. Now, first of all, just to be fair, it's a rarity to see anyone on probation as long as Meek Mill's was. Like, this is abnormal. So that in itself, if you ask me, is a reason to just look into this case in particular. But who am I? In a hearing before Judge Genece E. Brinkley, prosecutor said that Meek Mill's 2008 conviction on drug and firearm charges should be vacated. The prosecutors are saying that it should be vacated. Like, when does this happen? Pointing to questions about the credibility of his arresting officer. Now, for everybody that doesn't know, the individuals that arrested Meek Mill, the arresting officers, they have come out as dirty and corrupt and have sent plenty of youth to prison, and I'm assuming people who aren't youth either, to prison and jail, and got convictions based on false testimony and conjured evidence that really didn't exist, that they just conjured out of thin air or something, or lied on the stand. Any decision to grant a new trial would have to be made by Judge Brinkley, who has overseen the rapper's case for years and who sentenced him to prison in November for probation violations. She has scheduled another hearing in June and declined to hear arguments on Monday to release the rapper on bail. Okay, so what happened was the district attorney has recently said that, what we just read, that they are in support of a new trial, and then they went to Ms. Brinkley and wanted Ms. Brinkley to release the rapper on bail until, there is a new trial, because at this point, they're saying that they want the conviction vacated, as we've just read, but she has decided that she is not going to release him on bail. So, okay. Still, supporters of Meek Mill's, who have previously scheduled a rally outside of the courthouse during the hearing, greeted the news with cheers. Because any good news at this point is going to be greeted with cheers. I mean, let's just be honest. It's just, people want him out. And as of right now, a lot of people don't see any reason why, when there's such little sunshine, and you've been in the dark for a while, even that little glimmer of light is just a blessing. So this is a blessing that at least there is hope at this point. Meek Mill, whose given name is Robert Rameek Williams, is incarcerated in a state prison in Chester, PA, southwest of Philadelphia. He served 8 months in prison after being convicted on charges related to the possession of drugs and guns. He was released in 2009 and was then placed on probation for 5 years. Though that period has been extended several times. So, to be fair to Miss Brinkley, whatever is the reason that he's getting in trouble, she had not been sending him to jail or prison, which was her right. What she did was, she kept extending his probation. Okay, so in defense of Miss Brinkley, to be understanding of the situation, because I already said this is 10 years is kind of a long time to be on probation, but it's said that he has been making a few mistakes and they have been extending his probation instead of sending him to jail. So I don't know, you take that how you want. He was sentenced by Miss Brinkley to 2 to 4 years in November for probation violations, which included 2 arrests, including the arrest for reckless driving while shooting a music video in New York City. The case has been a rallying cry. Wait, hold on. I just want to make a comment about the New York City thing real quick. Just so we're clear, I think the only reason why he was actually arrested because they failed to get a permit. I'm pretty sure if they would have got a permit to shoot the video, then yeah, he wouldn't have gotten arrested for that. So at the end of the day, that particular arrest, they kind of have to look back at, his management team. His management team put him in a bad situation. The case has been a rallying cry for criminal justice reformers who have called the sentence heavy-handed. In November, the rapper Jay-Z wrote in an op-ed for the New York Times that Meek Mill's case was just one example of how our criminal justice system entraps and harasses hundreds of thousands of black people every day. As usual, link is going to be in the description. You can finish this article yourself. It's from the New York Times. As you can see, it's a well-written article. It has a lot of things in it, a lot of points in it, and it's well-written. But I just want to say something before I move on to the next segment. And the next segment is going to be a deep dive, and that's basically when we just break down some stuff to help you really understand what's going on with the story. So, couple things. One thing I just want to just point out real quick, whether people understand or really been thinking about this. The reckless driving that he got in trouble for in New York. We're not even talking about the fight that him and his people supposedly gotten into. I think in Minnesota it was, or Detroit, something like that. We're talking about the New York situation. If his management team goes and gets a permit, there is no arrest. There is no arrest. And one more thing I want to add about that particular arrest. He wasn't arrested on the spot. They put the video up on like IG or something. Then the hip hop police seen that, because for everybody that doesn't know, when you're in New York City and you are a rapper, they are watching you very closely. The bigger you are, the more they watch. There's a reason why Jay-Z moves the way he does. So they seen this on IG or whatever he posted it on, and they arrested him after the fact. He wasn't arrested, caught in the act. He was arrested because he uploaded the evidence of his crime. So, yeah, that happened. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next segment. Today on this video, we're going to use Pitchfork for our deep dive. I looked at a couple of other articles that would have helped me with this particular situation, and it seemed like Pitchfork was more on point and less biased. So we're gonna go with Pitchfork for this deep dive. And I don't know what dude right there in the valleys is doing, but I don't know. Is that a thing? Anyway, so this is just if you didn't know why Meek Mill is in prison. Like a lot of people, they don't understand why he's in prison. So we're gonna go into this real quick. On November 6th, Meek Mill was sentenced to 2 to 4 state prison for violating his probation, right? The Philadelphia rapper had been on probation for nearly a decade after being convicted of gun, drug charges at 21. In the days following the sentence, the Free Meek Mill rally started online, everything. November 13th, Colin Kaepernick tweeted that Meek's case shows the urgent need for criminal justice reform, which I 100% agree with for multiple different reasons. The same day, Rick Ross and the Philadelphia basketball legend Julius Erving led a protest demanding his sentence be overturned. Now, that's what happened. Over the last 10 years, Meek Mill's case was overseen by Judge Genece Brinkley. The decision to punish or not punish him for probation violations is hers alone. Remember that. Several Philadelphia-based lawyers interviewed by Pitchfork said that Meek's sentence did seem excessive. Some noted, however, that one defense attorney would be surprised to see a judge come down on Meek. Some noted, however, that no defense attorney would be surprised to see a judge come down on someone who, like Meek, violated the terms of his probation 5 times in the last 6 years. Just so everybody's clear, you can violate your probation 1 time and go to jail. He did it 5 times in 6 years. You can be on probation 3 years, go 2.5 years, not violate your probation, and the 2.5 year mark, violate your probation 1 time, go to jail. Just so we're clear on this. But with such a long period under a court scrutiny, it's difficult for anyone, let alone a high-profile rapper, often on tour, did not slip up somehow. And this is facts, and that's why I don't think that it was very fair. It was fair for him to be on probation for such an extended amount of time. Meek was first arrested in 2007 when he was 19 and still known as Robert Williams. A year and a half later, Brinkley convicted him on 7 charges related to guns and drugs. Just so we clear, you can do one crime and get 7 charges. It's not like he did 7 separate crimes. You could literally do one crime and get 7 charges. She sentenced him to 11 and a half to 23 months in county prison, plus 7 years of probation. 7 years of probation. Wow. In a court opinion obtained by Pitchfork, the judge wrote that although prosecutors had urged a tougher sentence, she wanted to give him an opportunity to turn his life around from selling drugs and instead focus on his musical talent. So it can be argued that we would not have the Meek Mills that we have today. I'm just going to use the word icon. I don't know how iconic he actually is, but he is a celebrity, and we would not have the celebrity that we have today if the Honorable Genece Brinkley, who right here it says that she was overseeing the case, and the decision right here at the top, the decision to punish or not punish him for probation violations is hers alone, meaning that the sentencing was also basically her decision, and she decided that she was going to give him the opportunity to have a music career. We can't forget that. Like, everybody is so mad at Genece Brinkley, but don't forget that if she would have went with what the prosecuting attorneys, which is now saying free him, you understand? Now they're like, well, they want to go easy on him. But at that time, at that point in time, where he didn't have the backing that he has right now, the financial backing, nor the political influence, or the people around him that have the political influence that they have, the freaking prosecuting attorneys, they was all for just throwing the book at him. But she did not. Let's not forget that. Meek was out of county jail less than 6 months later, paroled to a house arrest, but ordered to earn his GED and undergo drug treatment. That's what you do when you want to help someone. When you see that someone has just made a mistake and you think that they can do better, and they just made a mistake, and there's a good chance they won't make this mistake again. That's what you do. You make sure that they get a little bit of education, and you make sure that they get help with whatever the problem that you think that there is that they have. The GED, drug treatment. In December 2009, Brinkley ended his house arrest but kept him on probation. Over the next 2 years, the judge found that Meek tested positive for marijuana and unspecified opiate use more than once, but she didn't hold him in violation of his probation. Just so we clear, you can get caught. I mean, it's rare that somebody would get a marijuana, dirty urine once and then get sent back to, get their probation revoked. That's rare, but that can happen. And right here, it's saying that it happened more than once over a 2-year period, and it was opiates, not just marijuana. She did not revoke his probation. Let's not forget that. In 2011, went too far. In 2011, Brinkley did cite him for his first violation, for testing positive again for opiate use. His next hearing was postponed several times throughout the next year while Meek was out on tour. Finally, on November 2nd, 2012, the judge ordered Meek to take a drug test within 3 days. He didn't show. Obviously, he was going to probably fail again. When Meek returned to court 2 weeks after that, Judge Brinkley suspended his permission to travel outside of Philadelphia County, still didn't send him to jail, until the next court date 2 months later. At that time, she barred him from scheduling travel for another nearly 4 months. 2 months in, Brinkley found Meek in violation for leaving the county again. So look, just so we clear, I would want to see Meek free. But at the same time, it doesn't look like the Honorable Genece Brinkley didn't give him opportunities to do the right thing. It just doesn't seem, if what Pitchfork is saying is correct, he's had multiple opportunities to do what he was asked to do. Okay, link is in the description. If you want to know more about this, if you want to finish this off, see exactly everything else that was going on in here. The other ways that Mr. Mill has not adhered to the restraints of his probation, then you could come here. Link is going to be in the description. But at the end of the day, all I wanted to say was this. Look, for everybody that want Meek freed, I want Meek freed. Don't get it confused. But at the same time, if she keeps letting him get away with this, if these things are true, then does that mean that the more money you have, the more influence you have, the less you should go to prison? Whereas if he was just a regular dude on the street, send his ass to jail because he's no good. But since he's Meek Mill, nah, we need him free. I know we gotta think about this. But more importantly, they're gonna give him a new trial because they believe that his conviction was a bad conviction. So if his conviction was a bad conviction, then none of this should have happened in the first place. So we'll see where this takes us. And as always, I'm gonna try to give the most unbiased report as possible. That's all I got on this one. Please leave comments down below. I want to know what y'all think about this. I want to know what y'all think also about the new edition of the deep dive. And just leave comments, please. That just helps me improve the channel. That's all I got on this one. I love y'all. Hug your kids for me. I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.